Probably just go for about an hour. Go for the first couple missions on Rainbow Plus. Run through a showcase of some of these suits, and then have a short discussion about just Spider-Man, Marvel in general, whether it be MCU or this supposed Marvel gaming universe is how it's going to start. So we'll see. But this too. So I kind of streamed a little bit of this the first time it came out. Was just going through the little Wilson Fisk mission and basically taking him down, but that's not even 10% of the game. This game is really a complete and well thought through game. The story is crazy. I'm gonna be quiet though. I want to see if this suit changes. If I can change it after.
All units, level 4 mobilization. Location, Fisk Tower.
Fisk?
SWAT is 1084 at Fisk Tower. All units stand by. Warrant is en route.
Did you take him down yet?
No. We're at Fisk Tower, but still waiting on the warrant.
Mind if I join in on the fun?
You know how his lawyers are. This one needs to go by the book.
Come on, Yuri. I've been waiting 8 years for this.
You really want to help? Head to Times Square. Sounds like his guys are trying to keep my backup from reaching the scene.
You got it. Almost there.
we'll see. We shall see. Feel free with any comments or whatever. If y'all want to bring up a topic, how to get feel, comparison, like how to get to or something like that. Universally, still Spider-Man 2.
Hello?
Parker, where are you? We must run through the demonstration at least once before the grant committee arrives.
Yes. Sorry, yes. Dealing with a personal issue. I'll be in soon, promise. Better wrap this up quick than get to my real job. Looks like Yuri called in the cavalry.
Okay, hold on. Go to my mic settings. Audio devices. Microphone level. Is this any better? It should. Okay. We'll see how this do. Alright, bet. But yeah, so the web swinging is crazy fluid. It gets clunky at times, but it's everything you ever could have wanted. If you played any of the other ones, the Spider-Man where he was basically clinging to the clouds and shit. Hey, that's what I like to hear. Still working out the kinks. Still working out the kinks. Here in a second, I'm gonna try to discuss some of the things that they did different. Even with like the main suits and all that extra stuff, you know, we'll see. They still give me that?
I gotta warn you, I'm feeling punchy today. Next up.
My boy's fully upgraded. Oh, my health is all the way back up. Okay.
This doesn't look good.
But I like how they did this. This is like a perfect like, introductory chapter, I guess, to this Spider-Man, this version of Spider-Man.
Man, this has a lot of guys on his payroll.
See if I can.
Get behind him!
Spider-Man, what's your status?
Almost done. You?
We're about to go in.
Be there soon.
That's one of my favorite moves right there. Getting people webbed up. Swinging them to the wall. This is just the mechanics, man. It's really, really crazy.
Okay, Yuri, all done. What's happening?
And the graphics too, dude. I'm gonna switch to the Homecoming suit here in a second, just so y'all can see. You can really see the stitching and the fabric on the suit. Like, there's too much detail went into this game, man. You gotta appreciate little shit like that. Another thing, man, they have you doing photo ops and stuff like that, man. They set up stuff for like Daredevil. You can see like a little Nelson Murdoch office. You got Rand Industries in here. I mean, the Sanctum Sanctorum from Doctor Strange.
Get more backup.
And rumor is that, you know, they're trying to start a Marvel gaming universe, which would be crazy, you know, good if you do it right, but how do you handle all of those characters
Do your thing.
in one setting?
He's the day, Willie. Heads up.
But, oh yeah.
Hey, where you going?
Hella dope, man. Hella dope.
Yeah. I'll clear a path. Follow me.
over here teaching me like I'm new to this, like shit sweet.
Sorry to break it to you, but you do not got this, buddy. Thanks for the confidence boost,
So
guys.
just for future reference in this video, man, when I make comparisons and stuff to like, whoa, what the hell was that? Oh, that's the concussive blast. That's dope as hell. I'm still figuring shit out. But when I make comparisons to like Batman games and stuff like that, it's not a negative thing. It's just even Batman, you know, they took some things from Spider-Man 2, like the little spider sense in combat, and put their own little spin on it to make that game, you know, feel fluid and stuff like that, man. That's why I say, you know, if you appreciate comics in general, are you really picking sides like Marvel or DC is really hard, because a lot of these things, they borrow from each other different aspects. And even a lot of times, you know, you'll see the creatives behind these characters and the art styles and stuff like that. They go from company to company. So for you to say that you only like Marvel, you only like DC, it's kind of dumb, man. It's kind of dumb. But you can always have a preference, though, you know. Let's see if I can activate his super. There you go. Yeah. So basically, each suit has a superpower too. That one that you just saw was the one from the Homecoming suit, the Stark Tech suit. Basically, the spider emblem comes out his chest and starts shooting electric blasts at people. It's just, man. You can switch up suit powers with different suits. That's another amazing thing that they did way better than any of the Arkham games, the Batman games. Is, you know, making sure that each suit, each cosmetic, there's a purpose behind wearing it. Because if you own Batman and you know, let's say you got like the you know, Batman 89 suit or something like that, it's pointless. You know, it's just for looks.
Okay, server room it is.
But yeah, see, like the timing in events and stuff, you know, a lot of these things, and they're kind of necessary just to, you know, bring a variety to the game. Level design and stuff like that too, you know. If y'all have any questions about anything, man, just, you know, feel free to put them in the chat. Any questions about the character, about, you know, how these things kind of bleed into it. The Ghost Rider suit, I haven't unlocked the Ghost Rider suit yet, just because I had to get some challenge tokens. So like, another thing, kind of spoiler alert, but like, you know, you end up running into Taskmaster. Taskmaster is one of the best fighters in the Marvel Universe, but that's a whole other topic in and of itself. But he basically, he gives you different challenges, different combat challenges and stealth challenges and shit like that for you to do. And you have to do so well on them to get, you know, a specific amount of challenge tokens and things like that. So, the first time around, those things are hard as fuck, you know, kind of difficult to run through.
It's like my own private vengeance.
I got enough for a couple new suits, but just not enough the first time around to get the Ghost Rider suit. And you unlock that suit like really, really late in the game too, so. But this time around though, I definitely plan on unlocking all the rest of the suits. I think I only have like 3 or 4 left. And it's supposed to shoot some kind of ethereal fire blast too, so we'll see how it is.
Don't let him near the console! Hold him back!
Yeah, see, this is a whole lot different from the first time that I streamed this, boy. Your boy was ass. Went down like 3-4 times. Ugh. See that? So another thing that they made sure to make different from the Arkham games in the combat, you know. Batman is more of a brute force type character, you know. So you won't see him doing all of these like flips like this and shit. Like he might be good for a front flip or two, but making sure he's flipping off the walls and even in his takedowns, doing all kind of like Rey Mysterio, Hurricanranas and shit. Yeah. Details.
Says the guy frantically erasing his search history.
That sound like me.
True, but that's part of my charm, isn't it?
It's really how you gotta delete your search history when your girl try to go through your phone or something.
Look around you. I did this. What have you ever done with that?
Well, there was that time I took down a pompous, overstuffed crime lord before breakfast.
Without me, the scum I kept in check will run rampant. It's not your fault.
Been a long, tough
Mere prey.
The hell? How he get me from
We'll get ready for
behind?
the main
Pause.
event.
I'll blow him to pieces.
Scarecrow. Oh yeah. I can definitely see the similarities. The only thing with that though is the Scarecrow was like the fear toxin, so you got to see like the worst side of dude, which I guess you could have you know, you could see whenever he was going through those levels or whatever, like the little fucking hypnotic, I don't know what to call those things, but you know, you can see little aspects of it.
Figure out we're not playing yet.
But I think it was really well done. They focused on the things that they should have focused on, which was basically Doc Ock possibly knowing his identity after, you know, he caught him working on the spider
I
suit,
guess bombs are part of Willie's getaway plan.
and just him turning into Doc Ock in general. And that's another good thing. The way that they slowly but surely like built up to him basically turning into Doc Ock instead of him just popping up with 6 arms. Man, dude, this game is just, it's crazy, man. It's crazy. It's really, really crazy. And I wonder what they're gonna do with the sequel too, because I mean, if you've ever seen the end, like the post-credit or whatever, you know, you see Miles Morales and you see both of them hop onto the ceiling, and that how you know they're basically going the Ultimate Spider-Man route. Let me see. Which one am I supposed to? Where's this nigga at? Ah, I'm tripping. But yeah, you know. Come on, guys. But that makes me wonder though, because when I saw Miles and I saw the spider throughout the storyline, I had to wonder, man, because in the Ultimate Spider-Man comics, you know, Peter Parker dies, right? And so I wonder if they're going to go that route, or if they're just going to have like some kind of Spider-Verse type deal where, you know, you got multiple Spider-Men existing all at once, you know? They're definitely doing that with the Into the Spider-Verse type deal. It's a little animated movie that Sony's actually coming out with. It should be like around December or something like that, around Christmas. But you know, who knows? You know, a lot of these things kind of work in synergy with each other. You know, you use the Into the Spider-Verse to explain that there's a shit ton of Spider-Men in different universes and shit like that. You know, you just never know what's gonna happen. But agree on that. I do disagree with the 20-hour. They should do Spider-Verse though, because I never thought. Some of your, I don't know if it's on my end or on your end, but like the comments, some of the comments are getting cut off halfway. Like I can see all the way to, because I never thought, and that's it. Where these niggas at? Oh, okay. Take, fuck these niggas up.
A little excessive, don't you think?
Oh yeah, most definitely, most definitely. Yeah, they did a real good job setting up Miles's motive to even really become a superhero, you know. And it always seems like a death, you know. A death is what makes people want to be. Oh come on, cuz you know I caught that. Anyways, it's always a death that makes people you know, want to save the world and shit. So, you know, his Uncle Ben with Peter Parker, and Miles' dad with him, you know, Batman's parents, Iron Man's parents too, you know. Yeah, man.
Settle down. I've got enough for everybody.
Any symbiotes? Oh, see, that's super spoiler right there, because we'd have to go into how they kind of like switched up everything from the comics or whatever, you know. Like so like in this game, I guess we can kind of go into it. Since this is New Game Plus, I'm gonna just assume everybody has either seen the playthrough or has played through the game. So the whole symbiote thing, right? Everybody knows Harry. He's always sick in most iterations, and you know he needs some kind of cure for his sickness. So in this version, his pops, Norman, you know, he worked as a scientist with Doc Ock to create this thing called Devil's Breath, which was supposed to cure any and every disease. Of course, it backfires. And I'm thinking that Harry kind of got a hold of this, and they put him in cryostasis, or not cryostasis, just a form of stasis to keep him from dying, basically. But in the post-credit scene, you see him in stasis, and his dad is like, you know, I'm gonna promise you, I'm gonna get you a cure. You know, I ain't giving up on you, basically, blah blah blah, whoop whoop. And you see him, his body's floating in water. But at the end, when Norman puts his hand on the little chamber, you know, after a while, little tendrils like stick to the glass, letting you know that Harry Osborn instead of Eddie Brock is going to be Venom in this iteration, which is fine with me. You know, I don't mind them changing things up from the comics. You know, as long as it's done well. But we gotta wait and see and how this goes. You know. But yeah, it's a very interesting concept though, and they set things up, you know, with the storyline to where everything makes sense. But it'll be dope though. And Eddie Brock does exist in this game. One of the little backpack collectibles is his goodbye, his farewell card from when he basically quit the Daily Bugle. And one of the signatures on there was Eddie Brock's name.
Get the chopper ready. I won't be long. Surprised you made it this
another thing that this game does a lot better than the Arkham games is the Easter eggs. Like Arkham Knight probably had the most Easter eggs in a little superhero game, right? But it was little stuff. Like you'll see the name of a store called Ocean Master, and that's Orm, you know, Aquaman's evil brother or whatever. Nothing really made sense, you know. But in this game, you know, you got the actual comics accurate places, you know, the Sanctum Sanctorum, the Alias whatever with Jessica Jones, you know. It's done so much better. And they really took a chance, you know what I'm saying? They really took a chance whether stuff makes sense or not, you know. The Avengers Tower, damage control, all that stuff, man.
You seem angry.
I will destroy you.
All that stuff.
Take your best shot.
We'll see what they decide to add on this DLC. I think it's supposed to come out in a couple hours. I'm probably not gonna play that long, just because I know everybody got shit to do. I got shit to do, you know. So we'll see. Ooh, shit. Another thing about, you know, a little known fact about Wilson Fisk, man. So this dude looks fat, but this dude is less than 2% body fat, dude. So that means all this stomach and shoulders and this thick neck he got, that's all muscle, which is insane, dude.
You are everything that's wrong with
At least
this
if we're
city.
going off the comics, so I mean, this, you know. And speaking of, man, I'm halfway through Daredevil
You know
season
what
3.
to do, man.
That hoe go live. Not gonna lie to you, that hoe go live. God damn. Watch out, my dude. hoe in it. Hold on, let me see. I'm not using all of my tools just yet.
You fool! I don't want excuses!
This shit is hella easy though. Since I got everything all maxed out. Quick time events too. This is really, really unique. Oh yeah, man. They showed it. They canceled the Heroes for Hire, man. You know, that's another thing. I want to get into that here in just a second after this little cutscene. Because they really missed the opportunity to do something with the Marvel Netflix series, man.
Should we kiss now?
Did y'all get that little reference? The little upside down kiss from Spider-Man 1, I think? Tobey Maguire Spider-Man 1? It's a whole lot of references and callbacks, man. That's another thing that makes this game great. There's been a lot of iterations of Spider-Man in the movies, so they can pull from really anything, you know. I'm sorry if I'm just going on a tangent, man.
I think you've got more enemies in there than I do.
If you think this will be more than a minor inconvenience...
Whoop, gotta go. Hey, good luck, Willie. I have a feeling you're gonna need it.
Idiot! I'm the one who kept order in this city! 1 month! In 1 month you wish you had me back!
The Kingpin
But
is
yeah,
heading to prison.
so
End of an era.
Marvel Netflix, man.
Celebrate. Maybe take a
I
vacation.
feel like they hit the nail on the head with Daredevil, you know, of course. But my thing is with Luke Cage and with Iron Fist, especially with Iron Fist, they missed a chance to possibly race bend and be able to make the Defenders a little bit more versatile, you know.
Blocks away.
I think that, you know, them having an Asian Danny Rand, you know, would have been a little bit more unique. But, I mean, it is comics accurate to have a white Iron Fist or whatever. So, I mean, you know, say what you will about that. That was during the whole Asian exploitation, the obsession with, you know, the culture back then or whatever. So. But that's one missed opportunity, and another, man, I feel like they should have casted a younger Luke Cage, you know. I understand that, you know, in the comics he was a certain way, this, that, and the third, you know, but I would have liked to see them take a risk and cast somebody younger, because the whole dabbing and the viral, all that extra stuff when the Heroes, I was excited for Heroes for Hire when they announced they were doing that, but the way that they went about it, man, it was just kind of like, it was just weird. It was like seeing your old ass uncle, you know, and say, "Hey, how you do that dance? What's that dance called?" You know, and then he tried to do it, and you like, you should stick to two-stepping, you know. But they should have casted a younger Luke Cage, you know. The music, which was fine for his age, you know, Wu-Tang, whoop-de-whoop, blah, 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 you know. But I would have liked to see a younger guy from New York, you know, go in and you know, come across these powers, you know, explore modern imprisonment and more modern music, just a more modern take on it, you know. But I mean, you know, they chose the route to go, and it was what it was. I like Heroes for Hire. They just need to fix the corny aspect. Yeah. Again, you know, the corny aspects. And I haven't watched season 2 of Iron Fist, but I heard it was a whole lot better than season 1.
Will be here soon.
But yeah, this part is crazy right here as far as the game actually.
I think I can handle it.
Oh man. So they have Octavius. Yeah. Bro, honestly, it looked like one of them wigs from the Walk It Like a Talking video that Offset and them was wearing, man. I was like, bruh. Bruh. I had that a weird ass beard on him, that lace front beard. So, you know, I was just like, man. I mean, he looked rough, and you know, they got a completely different budget for Netflix TV shows than the actual Marvel movies. So I mean, I gotta be willing to understand, but.
Is anyone hurt?
No, it was all my fault. The energy levels exceeded our expectations. From a certain viewpoint, that's a very positive development.
It doesn't smell very positive.
I assure you, in the next phase...
Let's not get ahead of ourselves.
Is there somewhere else we can discuss this?
Maybe you should take the rest of the day off, Peter. But we'll talk later. That was a disaster.
But yeah, so the way that they did this with Doc Ock, man, so basically he's a prosthetics scientist, you know, he's trying to make developments in technology and stuff like that for people, war victims that have lost limbs and stuff like that. So you can see, you know, the realism that comes into effect with this, right? You know, they also make him, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. I'll get into that in a little bit, but you can see, you know, kind of how this is gonna go. And near the end, you know, whenever he actually goes full Doc Ock, you kind of feel bad for him, you know.
Circuit burned out. Damn it. If I'd been here,
I wouldn't be doing. I think how I'm gonna go about this, because stuff like this, I know people really don't want to see, you know, puzzles and shit like that. So, you know, in some off time, I'm gonna try to run through these and get them out the way so that when I actually stream, it's actually like cutscenes and stuff like that, you know, as opposed to y'all watching me routing circuits and shit like that, you know. Nobody wants to see this. This ain't very, I don't know how to call it. It's not very interesting, I should say. But I've been through this before, so it, you know, it ain't gonna take long. Actually, let me get it. Yeah, nice. But you know.
Okay, what next?
I'm sad that they cut my Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. episodes in half. You know, after the whole Snapshot, man, you know what I'm saying? Motherfuckers just popping up, disappearing, you know? So shit, and they about to go a whole nother direction, man. Disney, they, you know, they're trying to get as much as they said. That's probably why they canceled Luke Cage and Iron Fist. You know, they took the least popular shows on Netflix and like, you know what, we're gonna get them up off of y'all, and just so we can have something to kind of offer on the Disney streaming service, or if they want to put them back, you know, somewhere in the Marvel universe, something like that. But yeah, back to Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., man, they head in a whole different direction, you know, and I'm pretty sure since they're bringing back S.H.I.E.L.D. from what I've seen of Far From Home, the little set leaks, and that's a whole nother topic too, because they got a Spider-Man suit that looks really like the Ultimate Spider-Man suit, but from the set leaks, man, you got, you know, Sam Jackson's in the film. Maria Hill, she's in the film too. So they bringing S.H.I.E.L.D. back to the forefront. Like, they're not trying to hide or nothing like that. But you know, just the direction that they're going towards, and not having to be constricted to, you know, what the others trying to set up, and making sure that everything makes sense. You know, it's probably for the best. I'm sure they'll come out with another show though. You know.
Doc was testing new contact material for the prosthetic.
At least for the time being. So it ain't a forever thing. But yeah, man.
Hydrogel polymer composite.
Also with Luke Cage season 2, man, I feel like it was just a tad bit better than the season 1, but not by much. I just really enjoyed Bushmaster as a villain. And, you know, Luke Cage was Luke Cage. He was just kind of blah, but Bushmaster, man, yeah, he really shined. Alright, let's see where this takes me, because I gotta show y'all some of these suits. And they're supposed to be on the DLC that comes out. I want to say it's gonna come out in yeah. So real quick, you start the new game plus. First off, you have to beat the whole entire campaign or whatever, and then whenever you're at the menu, it'll tell you whether or not you qualify for New Game Plus, whether, you know, how much of the campaign that you've completed. On my campaign, I got 100% done, but I'm not sure what point, you know, they're like, okay, you can start it. But at the main menu, when you're about to load your game, you press square, you'll see create a New Game Plus save, and then you'll get started.
I'm on my way.
Just be back in Captain Marvel. You know, that'll be pretty interesting, you know. I feel like this would be his time to shine, you know. They'll be happy that he didn't get snapped out, you know what I mean? So, you know, but I haven't really seen or heard anything about him being on the set or anything like that, you know. But you know, I'm sure you've heard a whole lot about how time is supposed to play a big concept or a big role in the next Avengers. So they're at one point, you know, they're gonna go back to the fight, the battle at New York or whatever, when Loki first came down with the Mind Stone that was in the scepter. And so there's a possibility, you know, very much a possibility that he could be in there. Okay, it takes a few episodes to get into. That's how I feel about a lot of the Netflix series, man. It's never from the jump, you know. They take like the first maybe 2 episodes just to kind of show you where the character's at, and show you who all is involved in the season, you know, and how kind of the direction that they want to head. And then the third episode, even with Daredevil, the 3rd episode this season, man, that was when that little hallway fight, he went into prison trying to look for that Albanian, and Wilson Fisk pulling some strings, man. He had that nigga get jumped. he started a whole riot in that whole prison, but that hallway fight was epic as fuck, man. So, but yeah, man, this is kind of the formula for Marvel Netflix. So this chick, I kind of want to talk about her. I'm not gonna lie, I really haven't heard too much about Yuri, but just to kind of draw comparison, or you know, just to get a feel for the character. She's kind of like the James Gordon to Batman, you know, the police liaison.
Every tower.
Pretty cool character.
Tell me someone sabotaged the central server, and now all the towers are offline.
Inside job?
Maybe. I'll figure it out later. Right now, we need to get the towers back on. Fast.
And you called me? Aw, that's sweet.
I called someone I could trust. Plus, the signals are scrambled, and we have no idea how to fix it.
Ooh. I love a challenge.
You break it, you buy it.
I thought you trusted me.
Little
Let's take a look at this tower.
You know, some harmless stuff. So the first time I played through this, this is another thing, you know. If you've ever played the Batman games, I forget what it's called. I think it's actually called the Scrambler or whatever on the Batman games. This feels kind of really,
We just had a tower come back online.
really similar.
Was that you?
Luke Cage
Not
is
just a
great.
pretty mask, huh?
About
Whatever
using
you did,
flashbacks
any
to
chance
gain
you could do it
empathy
to the
for
other
villains,
towers?
push Malus
Sure,
in.
but just so you know, I had to
Yeah,
sync up with
well,
the
more
tower
or less.
fixer.
I still want to see
I'm seeing all
Cottonmouth
crime data in
Batman,
the
but I
area
know,
now.
you know,
Looks like there's a break-in happening.
Mahershala Ali, he's
Great.
getting
I've
booked
got you
out the
nearby.
wazoo.
Don't bother.
You know.
I'm on it.
So that having him back probably ain't gonna work out as much as I wanted to. I need to keep the Punisher best show. I'm gonna say Punisher is right behind Daredevil, but I completely agree it's one of the better ones. Both of those shows were better than the Defenders. But yeah. Okay. After this, I'm gonna kind of go through a couple of these suits and kind of figure out what I think of some of them, how it works, and you know, just kind of the direction I guess they're gonna head. Shut up. Damn. Is he? I'm pretty sure that nigga dead. Alright.
Okay, wrapped up.
Thanks for that. Now I'm seeing an assault near you.
You're in luck, Yuri. Your favorite tough but lovable, grizzled, seen-too-much detective is intact.
What? No. You promised you wouldn't do that any...
Spider Cop.
Please, no.
Bruh. Hey, that shit kind of funny though. This whole Spider Cop show joke they got running through this game. Oh, that's funny. Okay, let me see if I can go through here. Okay, so this is you really restart. But yeah, this map is huge as fuck. Let's see, suits. So you get 3 suit mods basically. They all have different characteristics. Some are better for stealth, some are better for defense, and if you look in the bottom right, it kind of changes your stats. So you can see how well you do on stealth, how well you do offensively, defensively, and as far as like web slinging and all that extra shit, you know. So it's pretty good to know, and you can switch them out at any time too. That's another good thing about this. You can switch suits, switch suit powers, and switch mods at any time. So if I'm fighting real hard and I come up on a stealth section, like I can switch this to this suit power right before the stealth section and activate it, and they won't be able to call for backup for a longer time or whatever. But you see, you kind of get it, you know. You got the suit powers that are paired with different suits, but you can put them on any suit that you really want to. So and this is just started, right? So they're gonna have another 3 come out whenever this DLC comes out. But you got this. My thoughts on this, man, I'm not a huge fan of the white Spider-Man symbol. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, I understand why they did it, you know. I mean, it really hasn't been done in the comics, in the movies, and any of the other video games. So now when you see this white spider symbol, you know this is Spider-Man PS4 Spider-Man, you know. And they've even put this version of the suit onto one of the Spider-Verse covers that recently came. I want to say it came out like last month. Of course, you got the classic suit, and I fucks with this suit. It looks really, really good. I don't fuck with this at all. Some of these suits are kind of outlandish, but you know, you got this one. This is for when he actually got into his first fight with Electro. He made a whole insulated suit to kind of counteract the electricity aspect. A negative suit. I'm not sure if this is from the comics, but it goes hard as fuck. Stark Tech. This, you know, it always looks good. I'm gonna switch to this just so y'all can see the detail on the fabrics and shit. But Secret War suit, you know, is one of the big Avengers plot lines from a couple years ago. I don't like this suit. This is something that the game made too, you know. Yeah, wrestler suit. I want to say this is from the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man when he went and fought old dude before Uncle Ben died. And yeah, this is one of the current armors in the comics, and you know, we'll go through one of them. But this right here, this is though. I'm gonna go through this one real quick just so you can see how weird it looks, but I still kind of fuck with it though. So yeah.
So you're the snitch.
And you get to see all of the suits in the cutscenes too.
Yep, she's the one.
I said back off. Leave me alone.
Keep it quiet, lady.
Don't touch me. Help!
Get away from her.
Mad rapey, son. Back up. Alright, what we gonna do? Yeah, throw ass on that ground. Oops, let me do that. There we go.
Walk away now, or she's dead.
Let me go!
Yeah. I know. Bop. Alright.
All clear, ma'am.
I knew Jameson was wrong about you. You're a little
I
weird,
really
but you got
fucked
a
with
good
the
heart.
suit. The way it looks,
Have
man.
you got somewhere to go?
The contrast
I
from
can take care of
cartoon to
myself.
realism, man.
I'm sure you can.
It makes it more
but just
unique.
in case, there's a place called the Feast Center.
Senior,
Excuse me.
I don't want charity.
They got the best wheat cakes in the city, hands down.
Mom used to make those. Haven't had any in a long time. I'll check it out. Thanks, Spider Guy.
It's Spider-Man. Oh. Should be able to spot the next tower from
Those
up there.
niggas be disrespecting dude's name, man. Like it's hard to say Spider-Man.
From his elevated position, Spider Cop spies his destination. Second surveillance.
Let me switch the suit real quick. Alright.
Are you narrating yourself?
What? No, of course not. Chief never did understand Spider Cop. Thought he was a loose cannon.
Already regretting this.
So another weird thing that they kind of did in this game, man, they killed Aunt May, bro. Like what? It's a bold move, but why
They
though?
can modify these towers to track more than just crimes.
I'm gonna really have to start doing these playthroughs like as I'm first playing the game, cause the reactions to some of this shit, man.
Score. Towers are picking up all
Your
kinds
boy
of
was pissed
RFID
off. I'm
signals
not gonna lie
now,
to you.
including one nearby. What is that?
Alright, so Spider Pig. That'd have been wild. Nigga. Quit being acrobatic for a split second. Alright, there we go.
Oh, wow. One of my old backpacks from high school. Forgot I attached tracking dots to these.
Like, dog, I know y'all see the threading on this suit, man. It's just wild as fuck.
Wonder how many of these are scattered around the city.
Yeah, ain't no way in hell I'm going through all them backpacks right now. Plus, I already did it. So yeah, so you get the menu for the first date, right?
Wish I could have afforded someplace fancier. But she didn't seem to mind.
Rogue Boy Peter Parker, where'd he go? What the? Florito Pizzeria. Awesome. But yeah.
Still there? Got a robbery a few blocks away.
Spider Cop's on it. Part man.
I'd have been
part
interested,
spider.
like if they do decide to do this whole Spider-Verse type stuff. Like I wonder how outlandish and like comic booky they gonna get, you know? Be really interesting to see. It's like how do you even work Spider Pig into? Because this game is extremely realistic, right? Like you could see some of this shit happening. Robberies, stick-ups,
Hey,
shit
fellas.
like that.
Spider-Man! Shoot him!
But a talking pig out of nowhere, he was like, you know what? You know, most people don't accept concepts like that, especially when they first starting out. And this kind of reminded me of Homecoming when he was fighting in the bank or whatever. You could just from the camera angle, the way he kind of knocked on the door or whatever, knocking on the glass. It's like, hey, fellas. Oh, come on, cuz. Yeah.
All right, Yuri. I'm gonna repair the last Chinatown tower now.
Don't you mean Spider Cop's gonna repair it?
Been doing a little thinking, Yuri. Policing's a young man's game. And Spider Cop, well, he's no spring chicken.
Please be going where I think you're going.
As of today, Spider Cop is officially retired.
Oh, thank God. I need a drink.
We'll all drink tonight, Yuri. Drink to the memory of Spider
Yo, the
Cop's
whole Into the
tireless-
Spider-Verse, they got the
Yuri?
actual Spider Pig
Yuri,
on
you
there.
there?
Yo, and what's crazy
emotion of the
is
moment overwhelming.
if you really pay attention, like there was an episode of Family Guy where Spider-Man was on it, and he saved somebody, and he was like, everybody gets one, and then he told Peter to say it, and he was like, apparently everybody gets one. He actually says everybody gets one on the game. If you know shit like that, you know, it'll make you chuckle. God, dude, this game is fucking beautiful, man.
Not good.
This is
Can't
really
have people taking
refreshing, bro.
pictures of my 3 chest
I'm not gonna
ears.
lie, the Batman games were really, it was always at
Tools I
night
need for
and
super
raining,
power at the lab.
you know. It's
Wonder
good
if
to see
Dr.
some color,
Octavius is
man.
left for the day.
I would have liked to see those games go in the daytime. Maybe you play as Bruce, but won't worry about that though. Let's see here. What do they want me to do? Is there a mission? Yeah. Let me give you something. No.
Doctor, how did it go with the committee? I'm so sorry I screwed things up.
Not at all, Peter. They're just nervous in the
Yeah,
face
see,
of
like right
imminent
there,
trial.
kind of got a little
They'll calm
funky.
down. They always do.
Should I head back to the lab for cleanup?
No, I'm stepping out for dinner anyhow. We'll resume tomorrow. Short break, then back to creating a future.
Wish I could bottle and sell that man's optimism. Sounds like he's left the lab for the day. Good time to work on my suit in private.
Okay, this will probably be the last one. I'm creeping up on an hour. That's another thing. Well, I'll talk about it here. Oh, well, I got a split second. So, with the Batman games, like, if you go into a building that they tell you to go into, there's no load time. If they cut down on load times, oh my god, dude. Oh, man. It'll seem like more of a movie experience, you know?
Looks like Doc's gone for the night.
But I'm sure they'll do it with the next
Time
game,
to sneak
too.
in some spider work.
Baby, let me see something. Trying to see if he had some of the notes for the Doc Ock thing going yet, but not yet.
Parker! Dr. Octavius, what you got there?
Chinese. If I know you'd be here, I would. What are you working on?
Oh, just a side project.
Bag up.
Of course. It's you.
I don't know what
Oh,
you're...
come on, Parker. It's obvious.
Let me explain.
I only wish you'd told me sooner.
I wanted to. But I was afraid that if word got out, my family might be in danger.
Yes. I guess if you design his equipment, you're bound to be a target too.
Yeah.
Don't worry. Your secret's safe. Well, I'll leave you to it.
Right, like you know this nigga know. This game's so fucking beautiful, man.
Excuse me, late for work!
Whew. Oh my god.
Come through! Same old me.
Mid. Alright, is that missions still? Just kind of
Spider-Man, I think I figured out how Fisk's men are keeping his rackets running. Construction sites.
Wasn't that shut down when he was arrested?
No, it's one of his legitimate businesses. Multiple investors. We can't act without cause.
But now you've got that, right?
That's why I'm hoping you can keep an eye on the locations. Tell me if you see anything suspicious.
You got it. I'll be your nosy neighborhood spider.
Alright, let's get to a good save point.
Reporting a mugging. Incident is ongoing near Union Square. Please copy.
Trying to figure out what days I'm gonna do this on, just so I can kind of like balance things out. Just something new I'm gonna try though, definitely. I wonder how where I can take this though.
Never quite understood why. Well, remember my warning about the downright.
J. Jonah Jameson. That's another thing they did different. He ended up, you know, giving his job up at the Daily Bugle for this radio hosting show, which makes it more interesting.
Wrong, because those incompetent bureaucrats built a network that crashes more often than a wino driving a bumper car. So your tax dollars got wasted, and there's nothing to show for it. It's about as close as you get to a happy ending in the real world, kids.
This fucking game is so beautiful, man. Alright, well, that's it for this little run through for now. I'll probably be back Thursday, and you know, depending on where I am, we'll probably either dive into some more of this story or just get straight into the DLC, since I mean a lot of people have kind of seen the story mode before. So but yeah, man, appreciate everybody that came through, and I will catch y'all on the next episode.